Leela, sit. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Leela, come here. Sit down. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to do a video today about everything you need to know about having a Doberman. I hope that this video helps you out. So I'm going to talk about all the different things and what it's like living with a Doberman. So the first thing is I want to talk about the breeder information. So I got Leela from a breeder here in Ontario. I checked out 3 different breeders, and then I finally decided on the breeder at the end who had a really good reputation. So this breeder, basically, she interviewed me for like an hour first, and then I went over to the farm and I met the mom, the dad of Leela. She showed us all the health tests for everybody and all the grandparents, and then I had to put down a deposit and I had to wait about 6 months to actually get Leela. So basically, Leela cost 3,000 Canadian. I know that now the prices have gone up. Some breeders are charging like $5,000-$6,000. So the price has gone up because I got her, about 5 years ago. So it's definitely gone up, but it's so important to find a really good breeder because, they do have a lot of different genetic issues, like health issues. So by getting, a good breeder and understanding sort of the family heritage, it helps reduce the chances of, bad diseases and gives you kind of the best shot. It doesn't mean, 100% that the breeder, that the puppy you get, will live till 13, 14 years old. But it definitely does help give you the best chances at making sure you get a healthy puppy. The other thing that my breeder did was just that when I picked up Leela, her tail was docked and her ears were already cropped. So a good breeder will do that for you. You're not going to have to do it yourself and take the dog to the vet. So I'm happy that that was done for us. And then we just had to post her ears. We posted her ears for about 6 months. Typically, once they're done teething is when you can stop posting. But you should definitely keep posting throughout the teething process or the ears will fall. It was definitely an easy experience. It wasn't a negative experience. She didn't mind it. She got treats every time we changed the bandages. So that's pretty much that. So proper socialization for these dogs is really important because they are prone to be, suspicious of people and their surroundings, and they are typically more nervous genetically. Proper socialization, it basically means that, you take your dog everywhere you can. It doesn't mean that you let every person, every dog go up to your dog, but it means that you take them and you expose them to the world so that they get used to sound. Make them walk over the grates outside, make them go up and down, different playgrounds, feeling different things on their paws, different textures. That's what socialization is. Take them, to Home Depot, and if somebody wants to pet your dog, definitely, if the dog wants to be pet by that person, let them pet them. But don't let someone come up to your dog and force the dog into a greeting if the dog is showing you signs that they don't want it. That's what creates, that's what will create a fearful dog to become more fearful, and a friendly dog to want so much, interaction from strangers that you stop mattering. So it's a really fine line, but that's what socialization is. So especially with this breed, it's really important because they are so prone and are, hardwired to be suspicious that they need to see the world and see, who's good, who's bad, and so forth. Dobermans are great with kids. I have a 4.5-year-old. She's amazing with her. In general, Dobermans are really loyal to their family. Even, one of the trainers that I used to work with, he told me that like the Dobermans that come into his program for training, they're all really good with family. Like he doesn't have any that come in that are, are aggressive to their family. Whereas a lot of dogs, they can resource guard, these kind of things, be aggressive to their families. Dobermans aren't like that. They're loyal to a T, and they're really good with families. Their issue is, not issue, but their genetic trait is to be suspicious of everyone else. So she's amazing with family. When it comes to strangers, she needs to meet them a few times and then she'll warm up, but she's definitely not the kind of dog that, you can walk down the street and if someone wants to pet her, she'll be like, yay, pet me. She doesn't want that. She wants to get to know you, and then, she'll be good with you. Like I can't just open my front door and have anyone walk in. I need to make sure that when someone comes to the house, I have a particular protocol that I follow. The person needs to respect, my rules, and she needs to be respectful of my rules. So, if you have a really busy household, if you have, people coming in and out, you may have challenges, with like a golden retriever, someone can come rob your house. They're not going to care. They're going to welcome anybody in. With a Doberman, you might have some issues with that. So it's something to consider. Not all of them are, territorial. Not all of them have that suspicion, but a lot of them do, as it's their genetic. It's what they were bred to do, right? So it just depends on if that's something you want in your lifestyle, or not. But it is something to consider. Like, you have kids kind of coming in and out of your house all the time. Your kids' friends. It's just something to consider. Training is really important with these dogs, starting from an early age. They love to train. They love to work. Her drive is intense, so she really wants to please. She learns really quickly, so the training is actually really easy with these dogs. There's some dogs where training is a little bit, they're less willing to please. They're a little bit more stubborn, so training can be longer, or they might not be food motivated, etc. But with Dobermans, she's really food motivated, really toy motivated, wants to work. So teaching her new things and obedience was actually super, super easy, the easiest thing that I could do with her. So in that aspect, they're really super easy to train, and that should go by really easy for you. Exercise, they do require a good amount of exercise. They don't need you to take them running 3 or 4 hours a day. About 45-minute running off leash, playing, so physical exercise, and then maybe 20-30 minutes of mental exercise. So that could be like your obedience training, any kind of mental work, maybe some scent work, things like that. So you definitely need to give them a little bit of both, or they could become destructive. But yeah, you don't need to run your Doberman 3 or 4 hours a day. You can definitely work a full-time job and have a Doberman. You just need a plan. So in the morning, take your Doberman out, do a little walk, some kind of mental stimulation. Then you can put them in the crate. But if you are going to be out of the house, for your 8-9 hours a day, I would definitely say you should have somebody come in and walk your dog, let your dog out. It's a long time for a dog to be in the crate for that long, so they should get a break in between. If you work from home, then that's great. You can definitely just take them out for potty whenever you need. They are prone to separation anxiety. I think nowadays a lot of dogs are prone to separation anxiety. The best way to overcome it is just make sure that, even if you have nowhere to go somewhere. Put them in their crate, step out of the house, leave 20-30 minutes. A lot of these pandemic puppies, the owners got them, and people are, now starting to go back to work, and the puppies don't know how to be alone because they weren't alone for the last 2 years. So it's really important to make, a stance to leave your house and leave your dog alone so that they don't develop separation anxiety. They're a sensitive breed. So what I mean by that is, like, they tend to remember every sort of positive or negative event that happened to them. So when she was young, I remember we were walking over a bridge in the park, and there was a bicyclist coming behind us, ringing his bell really, really loud, and drove by really close to her. And she was scared of bikes ever since, for good reason. He freaked me out too. But things like that will really imprint, whereas other dogs typically, they might spook, but then that's it. They'll get over it. If you're walking down the street and a garbage can, flies across the street and makes a loud noise, your puppy might get scared, and then they remember it forever, and they're not going to be afraid of garbage cans. So they're just a very sensitive breed and tend to retain sort of events more than some other dogs, and they don't let go. So it's a lot of work. So, ever since I've been counter conditioning bicycles, every time I see a bike, I give her a treat, I play a toy. So it's been a lot of work over the years, and even still, she's really comfortable now, but she still doesn't like when bikes come from behind, because that's what happened last time. So it's just that one event that lasted, 2 seconds, and it's kind of imprinted on her forever. So you have to be cautious with that. That's why it's so important to make sure that you have, positive experiences. Don't let people, rush your dog. Dogs rush your dogs, especially, when they're under a year old, because that's kind of what they go through, a fear period. There's a lot of things under a year old that happen that really imprint sort of who your dog is when they're older. So those are kind of the things you should know. Really great dogs to train. They love to work. They love their family. Just something to think about is, they can be territorial. They can have stranger danger. They're not dog park dogs, so you shouldn't take them to dog parks. In general, dog parks are not good, but they're definitely not dog park dogs. She has dog friends. She is good with dogs if she knows them. And I take her hiking with dogs, and she's neutral with dogs. But she's also at the age of 5, so she doesn't really play with dogs anymore. She used to, so she's good with dogs. But definitely, if I threw her into a dog park, it wouldn't go well, because all those dogs are not behaved, and she doesn't like when other dogs are rude. So if you're gonna have people coming in and out of your house all day long, You know, if you have kids with friends that just come in, you know, things like that, don't knock, walk in. Something to consider, just, you know, be cautious, you know, make sure that, you know, you talk to your breeder, you tell them kind of what kind of lifestyle you have so that they can, you know, do puppy tests and help you pick the right puppy. Again, it's not a for sure thing. You know, personalities can change from 8 weeks to a year old and so forth, but at least, again, you have the better chance, you know, by going to a breeder. Not to say that, you know, if you find a great, you know, Doberman to adopt and the temperament is good, do it by all means. But definitely just make sure that, you know, the temperament of the dog that you get is right for your family, and understand the breed. You know, it's definitely not a golden retriever. You know, like my last dog was a lab, and I had no territorialness, loved people, loved dogs. Dogs would charge him, he would be fine, confident, no nervousness. He was just easy, and I didn't do anything. I knew nothing. So that has taught me how much genetics and the breed plays a part in it, because I started raising her the same way I raised him, and she gave me a run for my money because, you know, of who she is. So, you know, you have the dog that you have is the dog that you need. You know, it makes you sort of that person that you need to become, the handler that you need to become. But if you don't have one yet and you're getting one, just do your research. You know, the last thing you want to do, like, it's a lifelong commitment for the dog. You know, Dobermans can live anywhere from, on average, you know, 10 to 12 years. So you just want to make sure that you get the right dog for your family, that's fair to the dog and fair to you guys. So I hope that you guys found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate all your guys' comments. Please ask any questions, and I will respond with any information that I have. So I hope that good luck in your search for a Doberman, and I hope that you found some value in this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!